What is up, my friends? My name is Echo and welcome back to the channel, where today we're talking about PvP inside of Diablo Immortal. Now, I was able to meet up with Wyatt and Julian to discuss this topic, and inside of this video right now, you're gonna see the section where we were talking about PvP events inside of Diablo Immortal. I asked the question, they give me the best answer that they can. What we're gonna do right now is take a look at that section of the interview, and then I'm gonna come back and we can discuss it, talk about what this all means. Now, before we get into that, I want to remind you that my previous video talked about the release date progression of Diablo Immortal. That's available on my channel right now. Make sure you go check it out in case you missed it. But now, let's go check out the interview, and then we'll be back to talk about it. Now, I'm going to dive into the topic that I've been maybe the biggest advocate for. Besides being the advocate for Diablo Immortal, I've been this massive advocate for PvP content. Wyatt, you're laughing. I feel like you knew this question may have been coming, but PvP.
I knew it was coming. I mean, I keep up with your channel. I watch your videos. I watch your podcast. I think I saw in the last 3 days, I don't know, you're either 3 for 3 or 2 for 3 on mentioning either Battle Royale or PvP. Go ahead, yeah. Ask away. Yeah.
So I guess, so inside the technical alpha, we saw a small piece of PvP. There was no type of a matchmaking like a lot of people will typically know from PvP experiences in other genres of games. It was, you meet up at the event happens and you guys battle, which was cool. But the PvP that I'm talking about is more of a type of PvP you'll see in other genres. Let's use shooters, Call of Duty and Call of Duty Mobile, for example, just because that's the easiest. Everyone knows that. You get inside of a lobby, there's some type of a matchmaking system to even things out, and you then go in against other people, whether it be in death matches, like a team deathmatch, in a domination where you have to capture position. And now the biggest thing is Battle Royale. And I think saying that there's Battle Royale in Diablo Immortal would sound weird. It would need another name, but I could see it being a really cool element. Dropping into the world with nothing, having to do some PvE, slaying demons to get yourself some gear, to get some weapons, and then fighting to the last person standing. And, of course, my favorite of all modes would be War, which is where you can call out other alliances having up to 100, 150 people fighting against one another. I'm seeing faces over there. You're like, I don't want to develop something like that. That's going to be crazy to develop. But so those are all of the things that I've been talking about. It's obviously wish list. I'm not telling anyone it's coming, but I'm saying I think it would be awesome if it did. What are your feelings on PvP? Do you think that it's essential to have a massive core of PvP players for sustainability, especially on mobile, which is a bit different than on PC?
Unfortunately, my answer is going to have to be a little shorter than the question.
Oh no.
We do want to have PvP, and we do want it to be meaningful, and we want it to be much more than what you saw in Technical Alpha, where in Technical Alpha you had the Balfen. There was this, I mean, even for what it was, I thought it was pretty cool. There's this like free-for-all event. People could kind of hang out in Balfen. If you channel on the chest for 10 seconds uninterrupted, you get all the loot. So it was cool. It was cool. But Technical Alpha was focused on early game leveling and mid game systems.
Right.
It didn't include any of our end game. And we do have plans to make sure that we have both PvE experiences at the end game and PvP experiences at the end game. And we're not ready to talk about any of that today. So stay tuned. But I will hint that I do think group-based social things will be a part of it.
Yeah, I love that. I like hearing it. I had the feeling we wouldn't have certain answers concrete today, and that's fine, but I was going to ask them anyway, just in case. So, as Wyatt said, he was not able to give me as detailed of an answer as I gave a question, but we did get some information out of that. And if you look at the faces of Julian and of Wyatt when I'm asking these questions, you can kind of see that things are working inside of there, that they have something happening that I don't yet know, right? And notice when I talked about Battle Royale, the faces they were making, as well as the faces that they were making when I mentioned the idea of my war mechanic inside of the game. Now, first of all, I want to mention here that they had another Ask Me Anything session the following day, the day after I did this interview, and they did give a little bit more details, confirming that there will be guild versus guild PvP gameplay inside of Diablo Immortal. I couldn't have asked for a better style of player versus player engagement for a few reasons, and some of this we discussed on the Immortal podcast. If you missed the Immortal podcast, make sure you check it out. It also is live on the channel where we break down a whole bunch of stuff from BlizzConline relating to Diablo Immortal. But let's talk about this PvP, this war. Throughout the entire technical alpha, throughout talking with the developers, I have heard them saying, and they've specifically said to me, that they want Diablo Immortal to be a social experience where people can gather, become friends, play together, fight together, slay demons together. And what better player versus player method of doing this is there than war? So now, Battle Royale, you drop into a world, you go survive, you try and make it until the end. It's awesome, but it's not the best teamwork effort that you could have. Team deathmatch, domination, objective-based gameplay. Although I love all of them a lot, there is nothing better than you taking your guild or a good number of your guildmates, your most trusted, your strongest men and women. You take them onto the battlefield, you call out another guild and say, we challenge you to a battle. Let's slay. And then you go on out and you get into these battles with that other alliance, with that other guild, and you have one victor. I play Clash of Clans on my main YouTube channel. The reason Clash of Clans has lasted, what are we up to, 10 years right now, is because of the war mechanic inside of the game. Without that, Clash of Clans would have been a 3 or 4 year game and it would have fizzled out. But war made Clash of Clans live. War made Clash of Clans get itself into esports. War was its longevity. And I love hearing and I love knowing that we're going to have some type of a PvP war mechanic, guild versus guild, inside of Diablo Immortal. Now, they didn't mention that specifically to me during the interview that you guys just watched, but they did say it in that following interview that was broadcast to all of BlizzConline in the interview. Now, this one that I did, that was just behind closed doors, me, Julian, Wyatt having a half an hour discussion. What a great experience it was. Now, I did mention also to you guys in the previous video, and I'll mention it here again, just in case you didn't see that video, I have 9 or 10 separate questions that I asked inside of this interview. Each one of those questions I'm breaking down into an easily digestible video like this one, so we can hit on that specific topic. So this time around, it was PvP. It is confirmed that there is going to be more PvP than we saw in the technical alpha, which was that event that went down in Billifin when you basically fought another group of 4 for that chest. That was cool. It was an amazing event, but I wanted more, and more is coming. War is actually what is coming. So me, I kind of pride myself on being a PvP guy, right? And Wyatt knew that it was coming. He knew that I was going to be bringing you guys content, or that I was going to be bringing him questions because he sees the content that I bring about PvP. He probably was prepared in some way for that question, but they did say that we're gonna get it. And man, was I excited to hear that. Now, do I want Battle Royale? Yes. Do I want Team Deathmatch? Yes. Am I satisfied if we only get war and these pop-up events? Yes, I am, because I think that that is the most encompassing style PvP that we could have inside of Diablo Immortal that fits the desires of the development team for playing together, building relationships with people inside of Diablo Immortal. There's no better way to do it than that. So I'll ask you, are you satisfied with a war PvP? Do you want to see different kinds of PvP? Would you prefer to have something like a team deathmatch or like a battle royale style? Or are you one of the advocates that doesn't think that PvP is at all important inside of the game? Would you rather Diablo Immortal be PvE, player versus environment, all the way? Everyone has their opinion. No opinion is wrong, and that's what makes it amazing to be part of this Diablo Immortal community and to be able to have our own opinion. I can't wait to play Diablo Immortal. I can't wait to bring you tomorrow's video, which, if I look here at my notes, it's going to be on those legendary crests. It's going to be about monetization inside of Diablo Immortal. It's going to be that topic that everyone was talking about. It was spicy, and I have information on that you may not yet have heard. So make sure you tune in tomorrow for that video. Now, I didn't yet ask you to subscribe, but I'm going to ask you now. If you're this far in the video and you enjoyed the topic, if you enjoyed Diablo Immortal, and if I didn't annoy you too much throughout this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel and ring the bell, because I have Diablo Immortal videos and live streams for you. Well, videos every day, live streams regularly when the game is back in my hands, because as we spoke about in the previous video, release is going to go through a few more test stages. I'm anticipating 2 or 3 more test stages where we get the game, we test it, it gets wiped, and we have to start fresh. That's going to happen to test out the Necro, the Crusader, different PvP elements, as well as the new stages coming to Diablo Immortal, all discussed in the previous video in more depth, with, of course, the section of that interview so you could hear it from their mouths themselves. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you remember that this video was sponsored by Claw Socks, which are these amazing things that you can go get over at mobilegamingcorps.com, which will help you take your PC gaming self over to the mobile side with comfort, with ease, with Claw Socks. Use code ECHO, save 10%. My friends, it's been real. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you back here tomorrow for that monetization episode. Make sure you're there, and be good.